Hello, it's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
I've been talking to people in Washington, and his aides, including his legal team, are well aware that at least one of the principal witnesses who has been interviewed by Mueller, a major figure in this investigation, came out of being interviewed by Mueller and said they know everything about Russia. Meaning all of the presidents, Donald Trump, his business dealings in Russia, as well as Russian figures trying to be in touch with the campaign. Does that mean there is a conspiracy or collusion? We don't know. But what we do know is that all of the lies, the most important lies told by Trump, told by his son, told by his campaign ads, told by Flynn, told by Manafort, and you can go on and on. They're all about Russia. Why is this if there's no collusion, if there's nothing there, if there's nothing to investigate? It's all about Russia.
You've got Russia.
No, you have it now. You may have given me Russia to look into, but now you have to deal with what we found. This is so bad. And this is what it's the defendant's false statements to Congress. This is very important, everybody. And I don't know why the news media is harping on, the SDNY document about Michael Cohen and the Stormy Daniels payment. Yes, that's campaign finance violations, of course, and those are two felonies. Paying off Stormy Daniels and the way that he did that with the money, the illegality of the movement of that money and these fake shell corporations, and all this, and lying about. Yes, it's bad. It's bad. But you're not going to impeach the president because he paid off Stormy Daniels or Karen McDougal. You're not going to impeach the president because can you imagine what the hearing there would look like? I mean, just the witness. It's going to be Stormy Daniels as a witness, a Playboy model, slash health writer, Karen McDougal. You're going to have David Peckerhead with limited immunity, standing there going, who runs this rag, the National Enquirer, who catches and kills stories. And Michael Cohen, who is a degenerate liar. No, we're not going to impeach the president over campaign finance violations. And if we do, it would be the stupidest thing that we ever did with a majority in the House. Dumb! I am not down with that plan. You know how many Trump pansies will point to that and go, see, told you there's no Russia. It's about the women. And we like that misogyny. We like that he's got, girls on the side. Now, I have no problem with what Stormy Daniels does for a living. None whatsoever. I'm telling you, if I would have lost this weight, years and years ago when my ass was still, you could bounce a quarter off it. Back then in the day, I'd be on a pole. No way, I would not. All cash business, no taxes. Come on. Plus, with my family connections, we could have launched a hell of a channel. I'm just saying, I come from a long line of people. Very colorful we are. But anyway, so the defendant's false statements to Congress began in approximately, and this is important, late August of 2017. The president was president. That's when he submitted his written statement about the Moscow Project to the Senate and to the House. And his false statements continued through his oral testimony before the committees in October 2017. And when Cohen first met with the special counsel's office in August of 2018, he was still lying over here. He repeated many of his prior false statements about the circumstances of the Moscow Project only when the defendant met with the special counsel's office a second time on September 12, 2018, after he had pled guilty in U.S. v. Cohen, did the defendant admit that his prior statements about the Moscow Project had been deliberately false and misleading. Cohen admitted that he lied to Congress and to the special counsel's office about the Moscow Project. He provided detailed information about the true circumstances of the Moscow Project, including its duration, the persons, plural, the persons involved in the discussions, contacts, plural, with Russian government officials and discussions during the first half of 2016 about the possibility of travel to Russia in connection with the Moscow Project. In addition to connecting the timeline and detailing the contacts he had during his pursuit of the Moscow Project, Cohen explained financial aspects of the deal that would have made it highly lucrative for the Trump organization and himself. The information provided by Cohen about the Moscow Project in these proffer sessions is consistent with and corroborated by other information obtained in the course of the special counsel's investigation. The defendant has provided and has committed to continue to provide relevant and truthful information to the special counsel's office in an effort to assist with this investigation. The defendant has met with the special counsel for 7 proffer sessions, many of them lengthy, and continues to make himself available to investigators. His statements, beginning with the second meeting with the special counsel, have been credible, and he has taken care not to overstate his knowledge or the role of others in the conduct under investigation. The defendant's assistance has been useful in 4 significant respects. First, the defendant provided information about his own contacts with Russian interests during the campaign and discussions with others in the course of making those contacts. For example, as he described above, the defendant provided a detailed account of his involvement and the involvement of others in the Moscow Project, and also corrected the record concerning his outreach to the Russian government during the week of the UN General Assembly. The defendant also provided information about attempts by other Russian nationals to reach the campaign. For example, and these are just one example, okay? One is this one, and here's another example. November 15, Cohen received the contact information for and spoke with a Russian national who claimed to be a trusted person in the Russian Federation who could offer the campaign, quote, political synergy and synergy on a government level. You know, that means my father's company was called Synergistics, as a matter of fact. My cousins remember a lot of things. I got to tell you, I got a family. It's just crazy. I love them. And that just means one group working with another group to make things run on time and well. So they're talking about the Russian government providing a well-oiled machine to the Trump campaign. Now, I believe I know who the trusted person is in this context. This, I believe, is Ivanka's friend, the Russian weightlifter, who wrote to Ivanka, and then Ivanka passed his name on to Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen then contacted that Russian wrestler, and that didn't really go anywhere because Felix Sater, who is an FBI informant, and has been for many, many years, who was the advisor to Donald Trump, the special advisor in the Trump organization, right? And Felix Sater's always been playing the double game his whole life. Felix Sater told Michael Cohen, oh, you don't need to talk to this weightlifter guy. Even though this weightlifter guy has, kind of built a business in Russia, which, he'd need Putin's okay. He sells, vitamins, and he sells, weightlifting gear and clothes and things like that. And so he was the first contact, and he had contacted Ivanka because they knew each other. They had met each other when they were there, when the kids were there. Okay, and so Sater told Cohen, you don't need to pursue this Russian wrestler. I'm inside. I'm deep inside. I can get you to Dmitry Peskov. He is the press secretary to Vlad. So, okay. That's who I think the trusted person is. The defendant recalled that this person repeatedly proposed a meeting between Donald Trump and the president of Russia. The person told Cohen that such a meeting could have a phenomenal impact, not only in political, but in business as well. Referring to the Moscow Project. Because, he wrote, and this I believe is the wrestler, there is no bigger warranty in any project than consent of Vladimir Putin. Cohen did not follow up on this invitation. Why? I'm telling you why, because Felix Sater said, I got a better way to go. And then Felix Sater writes to Michael Cohen, remember, and he says, oh my God, we're really in. We can get our boy elected with Russia's help. We can really get a president of the United States. Second, Cohen provided the Office of Special Counsel with useful information concerning certain discrete Russia-related matters core to its investigation that he obtained by virtue of his regular contact with Trump executives during the campaign. So, who would that be? Everybody. Third, Cohen provided relevant and useful information concerning his contacts with persons connected to the White House during 2017 and 18. The president is president. Fourth, Cohen described the circumstances of preparing and circulating his response to the congressional inquiries while continuing to accept responsibility for the false statements contained within it. What does that mean? It means the White House was helping Michael Cohen coordinate his lies that he wrote down and submitted to Congress under the penalty of perjury as his official opening statements to both the Senate and the House, that the White House was coordinating with Michael Cohen the lies that Michael Cohen was to tell to Congress and to the Senate in order to move the timeline, in order to change the information. And the White House was agreeing to those lies and began to tell those lies in conjunction with Michael Cohen telling those lies. They were obstructing justice together. And I'm watching the TV all weekend, and they're sitting there going, well, it seems like there's an obstruction of justice investigation. It seems like, did you not read this? What are you, daft? I mean, listen, we all know my law degree that I have is an honorary law degree. But even I can figure this stuff out. It's written in plain English over here. He concludes that the defendant's crime was serious, both in terms of the underlying conduct and its effect on multiple government investigations. The sentence imposed should reflect the fact that lying to the federal investigators has real consequences, especially where the defendant lied to investigators about critical facts in an investigation of national importance. These people are screwing around with the U.S. national security apparatus to the point where Michael Flynn was the national security advisor. Go to RandiRhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.